Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how I made this little wall shelf using pallet wood. And I have 2 pieces of pallet wood here, but I actually used 3 pieces. Now, this was previously a wine bottle holder or something like that. So it was already painted black, and my husband cut it apart. So what I'm going to do is take this black acrylic paint and just paint the edges black to match the top side of the shelf. And then I need to paint the side because this is the back part of the shelf. So you're going to see everything except for the very back of it. So I needed to make sure that all the sides were painted. So as you can see, the top and the back of it was already painted. I just needed to paint the 2 edges there where my husband cut it apart, and then the other edge that was raw. And the width of this board is about 5 1/4 maybe. And I cut down the next board that you see, it and another board, I cut it down to 5 1/2. So I need 3 pieces to make 3 shelves. So I have those 2 boards, they're the same width. And so I'm just telling you, I'm going to cut them into 3 shelves. So 5 1/2 inches is what I went with. So it does hang over the sides a little bit, but I'm okay with that. So I do paint the edges. And then I do paint a little bit of the raw edge on the long side because, like I said, it does hang over the board just a little bit, and you'll see that here in a second. Yeah, right there. So just paint a little bit of it, not much. And I do that with all 3 pieces of my shelving unit. And so I have this turn the main board over on the back side, and I'm going to add this hanger to it. And this is just a hanger that I probably took off of something else, probably some wall decor or something. So I'm going to let it hang over the top a little bit, and then I'm going to drill the first hole. Once I have the first hole drilled, I'm going to go ahead and put my screw in there. Once I get it screwed down, then I can take my drill and drill the second hole. And it makes it a lot easier once you get your first screw screwed in. And then I'll just screw in the second screw. And I'll flip my board over and I'll use some wood glue. And I'm using quite a bit of it. I'm going to put it on one end there, and then you'll see me put it on the other end. And then I'll put just a little bit in the middle. And then I'm going to use some hot glue in those empty spaces there. Now, if you weren't doing this for video purposes or whatever, you could just go ahead and use your wood glue all the way across it. But I needed some immediate hold so that I could continue on with my video. So that way I don't have to keep holding that up. And then I can go on to my next piece. So I just figure out about how far I want my shelf there from the very top. I mean, the bottom one, of course, is going to go more towards the very bottom of your wood piece there. But your top shelf is going to need a little bit of space from the top of the backing board. So again, I use the wood glue and the hot glue. Now I can't really say how far I came down, maybe 3 inches from the top. It's just however much you want it to be. And then I take my tape measure and I measure in between my shelves. And then I mark it at halfway, which is about 4 1/4. Because I think it was about 8 1/2 inches in between. So I want to mark both sides so that I'll know where to put my shelf and that it'll be even. So again, I'm just going to go add my wood glue and my hot glue to it, and then I'll glue it down. So this was a very quick and easy DIY project. If you have any pallet wood laying around and you want a little shelf to put on your wall, this is very easy to do. So I do let that dry just a little bit, and then I flip it over and I'm going to nail it. So I can see where my shelves are to know where to put my nails. So once I get a nail on the one side, I flip it around and I put a nail on the other side. And I want to do this with all 3 shelves. And I'm not the best person at hammering nails. I'm pretty bad at it, actually. So I go on to the next shelf. So at this point, I add 2 nails to each shelf. And then I go back in and I add a 3rd nail to the middle. And these nails really don't go too far down into the actual shelf itself. But I think it's enough to hold it along with the glue. I probably could have used longer nails, but I think this will work. We'll see. I have it hanging on my wall with some decorative items on it, and you'll see that at the end. So here's where I add the 3rd nail in the middle to each of these. And then that's it. This is done. So quick and easy project. just using old pallet boards. There it is. Not too bad, a little rustic. And here it is hanging on my wall with some decorations on it. Not too bad. I like it. You'll have to let me know what you think. And again, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to think about doing so. I do 3 videos a week.